All right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to our call tonight. We are so excited that you are here. And for those of you watching the recording, we are so glad. Okay, so I'm Jenifer Harmon, Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I have been here since 2014, you guys, a really long time. So a little bit about me. I am a mama to 6 kiddos, homeschool mama to 6, and live here in Georgia. And so I was a supplement snob. I had a shoebox full of supplements that I took every single day, and I didn't have anything but peace of mind. Now, I was plagued with allergies. I had reflux. I was tired all the time. I had eczema, just all different kinds of things. But because I wasn't on prescription medications for those things, I was on a lot of over-the-counter stuff, but nothing prescription-wise, I would have said, hey, I'm super healthy, right? But in fact, all those things were plaguing me and had been, many of them, for several years. Some even going back to childhood. I had eczema since I was a little girl, and allergy issues for years and years. So I just thought it was part of getting older. It's kind of normal because didn't everybody struggle with those things? But I started on Plexus, and in my mind, you guys, I was just going to try these products. I was going to switch out my supplements. I was taking, probiotics. I was taking vitamins. I was taking all the things. So I was just going to switch them out and see what happened. And so I started on the Triplex combo, which is our pink drink, Probio 5, and BioCleanse. It's just a simple combo. I think everybody should be on it. But that's what I started out. And within a few days, I noticed I wasn't craving sugar. Within a few days, almost about a week later, I noticed I had so much more energy. And then I noticed that my sugar cravings were gone. I noticed my energy was up. And then I didn't have a problem with consistency because, again, shoebox full of supplements for so many years. So I was used to like taking things, but I wasn't used to the simplicity of Plexus, right? I took my pink drink and my BioCleanse, and then at bedtime I took my Probio 5. I mean, that was my regimen. So, but after a few weeks of consistency, a couple of months, I noticed, hey, my eczema on my hand is looking a little bit better. And, some of the cracks are starting to heal up. I'm not waking up in the night scratching my hand. And then, I'm not waking up in the night with allergy attacks. I was having allergy attacks even though I was on Claritin and Zyrtec all the time, nonstop. I was still having attacks, right? So I noticed a few things. So I weaned myself off of my allergy medicine, and that was in the fall of 2014. So that's awesome. And obviously you can see my eczema is completely healed. And this hand, because you guys, I couldn't even wear that ring. Like my knuckles were so cracked and bleeding. I had horrible, it was horrible looking. If you dealt with eczema, it's really embarrassing. It just itches and it's horrible. But as the months went on, my skin continued to heal. To come to find out, gut health is linked to all of these things, so many things. And so because of the products don't just put band-aids on our health, they actually get to the root: blood sugar imbalance, inflammation, and gut health issues. They address the root of that. And so from those three things, pretty much everything, you guys, under the sun can be traced back to one or two or all three of those things. So that is why Plexus works, because it gets to the root. And so my husband started on the products, and you guys, he no longer suffers with his, he had migraines multiple times a week, to the fact that he would have to go to bed. Sometimes he would his head would hurt so bad he would throw up. It was horrible. And his blood panel, triglycerides, cholesterol, and blood pressure, all of those things came down within normal range because he was borderline. The doctor was like, hey, you're a borderline medication for all this stuff. You better get it under control. Well, all he did was start the triplex. And he also, when he started the triplex, he lost some weight. We both lost so much inflammation. My kids look at my wedding picture where I was about 12 pounds lighter. And they are like, Mama, you're so much skinnier now, which I'm not by the scale, but the inflammation is gone, right? So that's Plexus just addresses so much goodness. And our kiddos have had such great success with the products too. A lot of tummy aches and different things like that we were able to help with our products. So But enough about me. I am excited to hear from Charity. Charity and I went to school together, and I'm so excited to hear her story because it sounds like Plexus has really rocked her world. So, Charity, I'm going to unmute you, and maybe says ask. Can you unmute?
There
Okay.
we go.
All right. Take it away, my friend.
Okay. Well, Jennifer says I have a gold mine of issues, but I guess I started Plexus 3 years ago because Jenifer sent me a friend request, and I kept seeing all her, posts. And I believe the one that really got me was about the gut health and the serotonin levels. And that is where, 70% of your serotonin is created in your gut. And really, my issues stem from I was diagnosed with PCOS in my early 20s and insulin resistant. So I've always been really careful with my diet, pretty much diabetic diet throughout. But I've also suffered with depression and anxiety and really severe panic attacks. And one of the reasons that I really chose the Plexus was because, for whatever reason, in my 40s, I decided to have a severe panic attack that sent me to the ER because it gave me signs and symptoms of a heart attack. I'm a nurse, been a nurse for 22 years. So I guess that really made it worse because I know the signs and symptoms of a heart attack. But went, and they pretty much told me it was a panic attack. There were no cardiac issues at all. So with that, no prescriptions were given because it's just anxiety and panic attack. So, but throughout the years for my depression, I have took multiple antidepressants and just never really found one that worked for me. I just never adjusted. I was either a zombie or I would have, severe reactions to those antidepressants, either more depression, more suicidal thoughts, or even anger. So really, none of those really worked for me. Because one, I don't like the feeling of not having feelings. And that's really a lot of what happened was that they really made me not feel at all. And with children and being a nurse, you can't walk around not feeling and being, unsympathetic or having any type of empathy whatsoever. So when I saw your post about the serotonin, which they never tell you that in nursing school, that is not something they share in healthcare, that you just always assume that serotonin is a brain issue, not a gut issue. And the gut issue and gut health has really only been, I guess, started probably the last 15 years, really big. So as soon as I started my Plexus, within the first week of taking my Slim, I felt 100% better. I actually had my happiness. I was happy. A lot of my other issues, I've had digestion issues for many years. I was not tired anymore. I actually had energy to get up and do things with my kids. Coached my son's soccer team. My daughter does soccer. We're doing baseball. So we're just nonstop now. And I actually have the energy and actually in a good mental place to be able to do these and participate in the activities with my children. So yeah, Plexus has really changed everything for me mental health wise. My anxiety, my panic attacks, I think I've had 2 in the 3 years that I've been on my Plexus. And, there was a year in between that I did I wasn't as consistent as what I would like to be. So, and those were the times that I had my panic attacks. The two panic attacks was when I wasn't using my products consistently. So, and along with that, I also at 40 got diagnosed with rosacea, which that kind of, puts you down. That is a big thing when your face is the first thing most people see. And not only did I have the redness, but I get, the little pustulas that come up and the blisters, and it's painful. And then I started doing the Joyome, which I do that. And it keeps it very controlled. Along with my triplex, it also keeps the inflammation with that down. So yeah, Plexus has really changed everything from my physical health, my mental health. My confidence level is up. So it has really changed everything. So
That is so good. And I didn't know that about the rosacea. Joyome it's a
yeah,
skincare that we have, and it helps address
right,
the skin's microbiome.
right.
I didn't even know our skin had a microbiome until
Yeah,
Joyome came out. I knew our gut did, but I didn't know our skin did. And so
right.
that is so good. I am so happy for you. So powerful. Your story is so powerful. And I'm sure so many can relate because that is one of the top things that people struggle with: anxiety, depression, panic attacks, those sorts of things. I mean, that's huge. And there is such a strong gut link to that. It's not even funny.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes.
so I love that you are having relief from all that. That's so good. So good. Well, thank you for sharing, friend. All
You're
right,
welcome.
Jenifer,
Thank you.
we're going to let Jenifer share her story.
Let me unmute. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yay. Okay. I'm happy to be here. I haven't done this in a while and shared my story, so I'm really excited. I have been, we started with Plexus 7 years ago this month, makes 7 years for us. And sometimes I'm like, wow, that seems like a really long time. And then sometimes it seems like just, last year. But a lot has happened. So 7 years ago, it was actually Jenifer's husband, worked with my husband at the time. And he kept on telling my husband, I think this could help your wife, because they're down there at work and they're chatting with each other and getting to know each other and becoming friends. And he is sharing with him, my husband is sharing with him about I have this awful IBS, keeping me up at night,
Are you there?
seeing the same.
Hey, are you there? Her internet just went out. Do y'all see that? Can you see her, Gretchen, or is it just me? Oh, there you are. Okay, there you are. Yay! Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I found out that pretty much where Austin and Steven were working together. Okay, it's cut out again, friend. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
I know you're frozen and you're like,
Sorry.
no, it's okay.
Yay.
Okay, there you are. Okay.
I'm checking my connection now. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we have been at this, in this with Plexus for 7 years. We do have a lot of a story. Me, my husband, my kids, there's been so much transformation and so much change. because of these supplements. And the biggest things for me, I'll just try to like put this in like just a minute. The biggest things for me were IBS and gluten intolerance. That is what brought Plexus to me. But much like what Jenifer said in her, when she was sharing, there were over time those surprises. I didn't know that the joint pain that I've been struggling with was going to be relieved and healed and not an issue anymore. The menstrual issues, same thing. I had stuff going on with that. My sleepless nights and all, I mean, just so many different things. My gut is healed. I can eat whatever I want now. And so I don't have to have that restricted diet and all that stuff anymore. My kids are so much healthier. My husband, he struggled too with blood pressure and cholesterol. He had migraines that shut him down multiple times a week. It was awful. He um, he is the reason why, because I was super skeptical and all that has transformed and transpired. We feel better in he just turned 50 and I'm 43, and we feel better now than we did in our 20s and 30s, I swear. And it is incredible. We are ever so thankful that we're going to be able to pass this knowledge on to our kids. And they're going to pass it on to their kids. And yeah, we're so thankful, really.
And I don't know, pregnancy, postpartum, babies, all that. You've had the Plexus pregnancies and postpartum and all that, and it was a blessing, right? She's not there, but she had babies with Plexus. I teased my husband and I said, because my son, when I started, our last child was 7 months old, and I teased my husband. I said, we need to have another baby so that we can have a Plexus baby. He didn't go for that, but because I heard so many mamas say that their Plexus pregnancies were by far their best pregnancies. They could tell such a huge difference, and nursing and all that, because there's a direct correlation with your milk supply and blood sugar and all that. So are you there? You're back.
Yes.
Okay, well, I can't, I'm sorry, it's cut out on us. Okay. Thank you, friend. Okay, so Gretchen, are you in a place where you could share really quick about your story?
Yeah, I just have a sidekick.
That's okay. He's a cute one.
He is. Can you say hi?
Hi.
So for me, I started Plexus coming up on a year ago, and I was kind of just looking for something to help with anxiety, to help with depression. For those of you that don't know, in 2016, I went through just kind of some big grief. My then husband and our only son drowned. So had been through medicine, but knew I didn't want to be on pharmaceuticals forever. And so Plexus, as I started researching, I kind of wondered if there could be a correlation between gut health and anxiety and depression. And so that was why I decided to try it. And I was telling somebody earlier, the first thing I noticed was better sleep, which led to more energy, and, you know, all the snowball effect from that, of having everything. I began dreaming again for the first time. So I knew I was actually getting deep sleep. Whereas before I might have been sleeping for 9 hours, but it was like 8 hours of light sleep and 45 minutes of deep sleep. And so as I was getting more rested and more energy and working on my gut health, I did start having improvements in those anxious feelings and the depression feelings, and was finally able to completely come off of pharmaceuticals and not feel like I need to hang on to them just in case or even go back on them. And then just as a bonus, I've lost about 20 to 25 pounds and a lot of inflammation. I could tell in pictures from before I started to now, especially in my face and everything. So it's been a big blessing. And I've started, my husband drinks a pink drink every day, and he can tell, he feels it when he doesn't have it. He'll be like, "Oh, why am I so tired today? Oh, I haven't had my pink drink." So, we're working on it. I've got our daughter on the kids, the Mega X Kids, the chewable at night, and to help her. And sometimes this guy will steal my pink drink and have that. So I'm so thankful that everything is safe for kids, and I don't have to worry about him taking it and being like, "Oh no, it's a Red Bull. It's, there's nothing in it that's going to hurt him." So we've been very blessed.
That is so good. Thank you. I appreciate your story. I love it every time. And I saw your pictures the other day. Your before, like, I was like, oh my word.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it until I put the two side by side.
Yes. Well, you look amazing. So I'm so proud. All right, Jenifer. Jenifer is back on her phone. And so just really quick, speak to your babies, because you've had several, well, you got lots of kids. She's got more than me.
Yeah, I will. Just real quick, I would love to say about my babies. So I had 4 babies before I started Plexus. So I started Plexus. The 4th one was just over a year old, maybe a year and a half old or so. So she was a little one. And then we were the same way. Like, we would joke around because we would hear these amazing stories. And I'm like, man, I would love to have a experience of pregnancy and childbirth and postpartum and all the things with this in my toolbox, with my health transforming the way it is and all the things. And then we found out we were pregnant, and I was 39 at the time, and we found out there were 2. So it was twins. So I had a twin pregnancy at 39, and y'all, it was the best pregnancy. I mean, people thought I was crazy when I was like, this is wonderful. It really was. And it really just made all the balance in my body, just made all the difference. The stable blood sugar was huge. That is such a big deal. And then for the breastfeeding as well, the milk production, that insulin is such a big deal in that. And keeping the inflammation down, that magnesium is like everything when you're pregnant. And so yeah, and then we have since had another baby number 7. So I have just, I'm in that group now with all those fantastic stories.
That's so fun. That's so fun. I'll never forget that phone call when we knew you were pregnant, but then y'all were like, surprise, we have twins. I mean, I remember, like, we were in our driveway leaving to go somewhere. It's that vivid. So that was so fun. Yeah.
I would say I've nursed because I'm a happy mama, and I want to help other mamas with this too, because I know I struggled breastfeeding with my first 4. I was able to breastfeed my twins for 30 months. They were 2.5 when they weaned. I was pregnant with number 7 when they weaned, and she's 18 months now, and we're still nursing. So it's just a wonderful thing. And I have to say too, like, our babies are healthier, and I just think that has to do with us being healthier. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And a healthy lifestyle and all the things.
Yeah, love it. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
All right. This was such a great call. Thank you guys so much for jumping on, and we're going to have the recording up in just a few minutes, but this was amazing. So if you have friends that, could possibly relate to this, share this with them, because sharing is caring. That's why we love what we do, because these products really do make a difference. And the triplex combo is where I think most of us have started, right, Charity and Gretchen? Definitely get with the triplex. Vital Biome is also a great probiotic too that helps with anxiety, depression, those sorts of things. But yeah, just get with us and we'll help you get figured out what is best for you. So thank you for jumping on, and you guys have a blessed night. Bye.